Okay, let's talk about the Jimmy Kimmel thing.
President Trump, who is staying behind me for the final night of his state visit with the royal family here at Windsor Castle, is celebrating after ABC announced that it is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air indefinitely following criticism over comments that he made in the days after Charlie Kirk's murder. The president declared victory basically tonight, writing on Truth Social that this is, quote, great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel Show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC.
Okay, to give you guys some context, there's a multi-billion-dollar merger going on that involves a bunch of NBC affiliate companies with another company, and they need FCC approval for this. The FCC said that they don't like what Jimmy Kimmel has said in a recent episode, and NBC bent the knee on it. Before we figure out, how we feel about this whole thing, let's watch the Jimmy Kimmel clip that got him in such trouble with the FCC and Trump administration.
He hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
I don't feel like that was that bad. Keep in mind, this was filmed on Monday, and you think about these late night talk shows, they have to write up the episode every day, right? With whatever news or updates that they have at the time. And at that point, this was Monday. If you remember back when the whole incident first happened, right side was quick to blame the left. And then we found out more information about the guy, and then the left side was like, oh, look, he's one of yours. And then, we get more information as we're going, and it seems like he doesn't belong to anybody, right? He just, he comes from a MAGA family, but they're saying that he, was not fully, indoctrinated into their belief system or whatever, or who knows? It just didn't seem like that bad. The other comment is spot on, though, about Trump and the White House ballroom. Like, literally, you see the clip. They ask him about, Charlie Clark. Trump immediately pivots into the ballroom. That's a funny moment. I mean, I thought that was very funny. I don't watch a lot of Jimmy Kimmel. I could see the argument that, oh, this could be an excuse to just get rid of him. It could be. Late night shows, there's too many of them, right? If you spend time watching any of these late night shows, what is it, Late Show Tonight with Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, or Stephen Colbert, they all, if you watch them back to back, because literally what happens to me is I'll watch one maybe, and then it'll automatically play another one. And it's literally the same talking points over and over. Because, like I said earlier, the show gets written up with current news of the day. And there's only so much news in the day, right? And so they all have the same talking points, similar jokes even. And I can see how ratings are down for all of them because they're very similar. But, some people like different people, whatever. I mean, think about the ballroom real quick. I don't think there's any working American or just a regular person that cares about the ballroom, right? People care about the Charlie Kirk thing. It is odd that the reporter asked them about it and he pivoted to the ballroom, that 99% of Americans are never, ever, ever going to be inside. It's literally a vanity project, right? Because they had a system before. It's not perfect. The tents, I understand Trump's viewpoint on the tents is not a good look when other world leaders come in and they're in tents. But hey, you work with what you got, okay? So it is a weird pivot to go from, reporter asking you about a tragedy and you just pivot to ballroom. It feels like they are using this tragedy to kind of push some sort of agenda forward. And I don't blame them, because I feel like if you're in a position of power and this incident came up and, there's probably some sort of spin doctor in there somewhere and they goes, hey, we could do this, we could do that with it, and there's an opportunity to push some sort of agenda or objective forward that you couldn't have done before. And now that this happened, you can do it, you would take it, right? I just feel like we're heading towards a path that it doesn't feel like a lot of us really want to be on. I mean, some people may want to be on this path, but it doesn't seem like a very good path, because they keep saying that that Charlie Kirk is into free speech. And, Pam Bondi was saying the other day that, there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. It doesn't seem like the legacy of Charlie Kirk. And keep in mind, I don't watch a lot of it. I've seen some clips of him here and there, but it doesn't seem like this is what he would stand for, right? And they're twisting it to meet their plans, right? Tucker Carlson even made this comment yesterday.
You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever, and there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes.
And here's the thing. Tucker Carlson knows Charlie Kirk, right? He went on tour with him. He spent months with him. He talked to him behind the scenes. There's this idea of what these personalities present to the public and what they do behind closed doors are two separate things, right? He knows him behind the scenes. There's a facade that gets done to try to get clicks or whatever, right? And that's part of it. But he knows him, and he's went on tour with Charlie on Turning Point USA. Think of the name of that company real quick. Turning Point USA. It feels like lately, and I said this when we first heard about the tragedy, because I just thought about it, and like I said back then, I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but I saw some clips and I was like, okay. The name of the company is Turning Point USA. And it feels like we're entering a very big turning point right now, because it seems like there's a huge crackdown on free speech right now and information. As I'm recording this, I saw and keep in mind, there's so much stuff going on right now. It's hard to tell what is real and what's not. But I saw a report that said that Donald Trump wants to get rid of the quarterly reports, the reports that are done quarterly. And when I see stuff like that, and like I said before, I haven't verified it. It's literally, I just saw it right before I popped down here. But when I think about that, and I think about the muzzle that they're putting on people right now, the leash that's getting put on, and the fact that they are possibly hiding information, right? It seems to me, and this is just my opinion, it seems to me there's a lot of damage being done in plain sight or behind the scenes. And they're doing this thing where, at least in growing up, it seems like this is what always gets done in politics, is that one regime comes in, messes up a whole bunch of stuff, right? The next regime comes in, tries to fix everything, and then another regime comes in, breaks everything, another regime comes in to fix everything. But the fact that I'm seeing right now is that the muzzles are coming on, the leashes are getting handed out, and, you know, they're hiding all this. It seems like there's a lot of damage getting done. And it doesn't seem like we're going to find out the full extent of the damage for many years down the road. I mean, who knows? But it just seems like the path that we're on right now seems like there's a huge cover-up going on, or some sort of drain that's happening, and they're trying to keep it hush-hush.